Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Plymouth Life Centre for the Elite Junior Diving Championships 2025. Welcome to this afternoon events, which will feature the following finals. Boys C 1 metre, Girls C 1 metre, Boys A 3 metre and the Girls A 1 metre. Our thanks go to our sponsors and partners without whom this event would not be possible. Aquatics GB, funding partner UK Sport, official partner Speedo, official suppliers SOS, endorsed product Dive Recorder, our host venue Plymouth Life Centre, Plymouth Active and Plymouth City Council. Just a reminder that this event is being live streamed on the GB Aquatics YouTube channel. And we'd also like to take this opportunity to thank all of our volunteers for their work at this event, without whom events of this nature would not be possible. Can we ask for a round of applause, please, for all our wonderful volunteers? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to poolside your officials. Ladies and gentlemen, your appreciation for all of our officers here. Chief Referee, Susie Bamber, Alice Clark, Kerry Ewing, Charlotte West, Frankie DiCello, Joel Trenchard, Vito Gutierrez, Kim White, Lexi Bushnell, Lindsay Fraser, Malcolm Green, Roger Page, Sally Freeman, Sarah Barrow, Mark Jones, and Dan Murphy, your officials. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to poolside your finalists in the Group C Boys 1 metre and your Group C Girls 1 metre. Please give a big hand firstly to your Group C Boys 1 metre finalists. Start 1, Brogan Gainford from City of Leeds Diving Club. Start 2, Lucas Bishop, City of Leeds Diving Club. Start 3, diving as our guest from Italy, Francesco Pellegrini. Start 4, Phoenix Victory Hopkins from Samwell Diving Club. And 5, Harry Westbury from Plymouth Diving. And on to the Group C Girls 1 metre finalists. Start 1, Ema Southerly, City of Sheffield Diving Club. Start 2, Flo Hall, City of Leeds Diving Club. Start 3, Willow Stephen McGrath from City of Sheffield Diving Club. Start 4, diving as our guest from Italy, Aurora Manich. Start 5, Ida Raplin from Plymouth Diving. Start 6, Emily Costello from City of Leeds Diving Club. Start 7, Ella Sweet from Southampton Diving Academy. Start 8, also diving as our guest from Italy, Alice Donadona. And finally, start 9, Olivia Leslie from Aberdeen Diving Club. Good luck, boys and girls. Please get ready for your competition. Bye. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are able, please stand for the national anthem. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Divers, please get ready for your competitions, please. We have the referee's permission. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Group C Boys 1 metre final. Our first diver, Brogan Gainful, City of Leeds Diving Club. Inward 1.5 somersaults with tuck. 6, 5, 6, 5.5, 5.5, 6, 6. Lucas Bishop, City of Leeds Diving Club. Inward 1.5 somersaults, piked. 7, 6, 6.5, 6.5, 7, 7, 7. Francesco Pellegrini, Italy. Forward 2.5 somersaults with tuck. Four and a half, 4.5, 4.5, 6, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. Phoenix Victory Hopkins, Sandwell Diving Club. Inward 1.5 somersaults with tuck. Six and a half, 6.5, 7, 7.5, 6.5, 7, 6. Harry Westbury, Plymouth Diving. Inward 1.5 somersaults, piked. Seven, 6, 6.5, 7, 6.5, 7, 7. Round 2, Brogan, back 1.5 somersaults with tuck. Just another keep 5, 4, 4, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 5. Piked. Five, 5.5, 6, 6, 5.5, 6, 6. Francesco, back 1.5 somersaults with tuck. Seven, 6, 6, 7, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. Phoenix, reverse 1.5 somersaults with tuck. Seven and a half, 7. Harry, forward 1.5 somersaults, 1 twist, free position. Seven, 7, 6.5, 7, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. Final round, Brogan Gamefort, City of Leeds Diving Club. Reverse 1.5 somersaults with tuck. Five, 5, 5.5, 6, 5, 5.5, 5.5. Lucas Bishop, City of Leeds Diving Club. Forward 2.5 somersaults with tuck. Judge 1, please. Thank you. 6, 6, 6, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 7.5. Francesco Pellegrini, Italy. Inward 1.5 somersaults with tuck. Seven, 7.5, 8, 7, 7, 7. Phoenix Victory Hopkins, Sandwell Diving Club. Forward 2.5 somersaults with tuck. Five and a half, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 6, 6, 6. Our final diver, Harry Westbury, Plymouth Diving. Forward 2.5 somersaults with tuck. Seven, 6, 7, 7, 6.5, 7, 6.5. That concludes the Group C Boys 1 metre final. Thank you, divers, judges and recorders. We'll have the results for you very shortly. Divers, you now have a 5-minute slot for a bounce. Okay, we have the results from the Group C Boys 1 metre final. In fourth place, Brogan Gamefort from City of Leeds Diving Club, 233.85. Diving as our guest from Italy, Francesco Pellegrini, 280.8. And into the medal positions, third place, Lucas Bishop from City of Leeds Diving Club, 284.0. Second, Phoenix Victory Hopkins, Sandwell Diving Club, 293.20. And gold medalist will be Harry Westbury from Plymouth Diving with a score of 300.55. Can we have judges to seats, please, for the Group C girls 1 metre final? Thank you. Can we have the final judges to seats, please? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Group C girls 1 metre final. Our first diver, Ema Satherley, City of Sheffield Diving Club, inward 1.5 somersaults, height. 5.5, 5.5, 5, 4.5, 6, 6, 6. Flow Hall, City of Leeds Diving Club, inward 1.5 somersaults with tuck. Four and a half, 5, 4.5, 4, 5, 5, 5. Willock Stephen McGrath, City of Sheffield Diving Club, inward 1.5 somersaults with tuck. 6.5, 7, 7.5, 7, 6, 7, 6.5. Aurora Matnich, Italy, forward double somersault with tuck. 6, 6, 5.5, 6.5, 6, 6, 6. Ida Raplin, Plymouth Diving, inward 1.5 somersaults, height. 5.5, 4.5, 5, 5, 5, 5.5, 5.5. Emily Costello, City of Leeds Diving Club, inward 1.5 somersaults, pike. Six, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 7. Ella Sweet, Southampton Diving Academy, inward 1.5 somersaults, pike. Five and a half, 6, 6.5, 6.5, 6, 6, 6. Alice Donadona, Italy, back 1.5 somersaults with tug. Four, 5, 5, 5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5. Olivia Leslie, Aberdeen Diving Club, inward 1.5 somersaults, right. Six and a half, 6, 6, 7, 6.5, 6.5, 7. Round two, Ema, back 1.5 somersaults with tug. Six, 6.5, 6.5, 5.5, 6, 5.5, 6. Flow, back 1.5 somersaults with tug. Three and a half, 4, 4, 3.5, 4, 5, 4. Willow, reverse 1.5 somersaults with tug. Seven, 6, 7.5, 6.5, 7, 7.5, 6.5. Aurora, inward 1.5 somersaults with tug. Six and a half, 6, 6.5, 7.5, 6.5, 7.5, 6. Isla back 1.5 somersaults with tuck. Six and a half, 7, 6, 6, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. Emily back 1.5 somersaults, pint. Three, 3.5, 3, 3.5, 3.5, 3, 3. Ella, reverse 1.5 somersaults with tuck. Six and a half, 7, 7, 7, 7, 6, 6. Alice, forward double somersault, pint. Six, 6, 5.5, 6.5, 6, 5.5, 5.5. Olivia back 1.5 somersaults with tuck. Seven, 6.5, 6.5, 7, 7, 7, 6. Final round, Ema, City of Sheffield Diving Club. Forward 2.5 somersaults with tuck.
Leave that towel on.
2.5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 2.5, 3. Low Hall, City of Leeds Diving Club. Reverse 1.5 somersaults with tuck. Three and a half, 4, 3.5, 3.5, 4, 4, 4. Willow Stephen McGrath, City of Sheffield Diving Club. Back 1.5 somersaults with tuck. Six and a half, 6, 6, 6, 6.5, 6.5, 5.5. Aurora Matnich, Italy, back 1.5 somersaults with tuck. 6.5, 7, 6.5, 6, 6.5, 7, 6. Hyla Raplin, Plymouth Diving, reverse 1.5 somersaults with tuck. 5.5, 6, 5, 5, 5.5, 4.5, 5. Emily Costello, City of Leeds Diving Club. Forward double somersault, pint. Six and a half, 5, 5, 4.5, 5, 4.5, 4.5. Ella Sweet, Southampton Diving Academy. Forward 2.5 somersaults with tuck. Six and a half, 6, 6, 6, 5.5, 5.5, 6. Alice Donadona, Italy. Inward 1.5 somersaults with tuck. Six, 6, 6, 5.5, 6, 6, 6. Our final diver, Olivia Leslie, Aberdeen Diving Club. Forward 2.5 somersaults with tuck. Seven, 6.5, 6.5, 7, 6.5, 7, 6.5. That concludes the Group C Girls 1 metre final. Thank you, divers, judges and recorders. As usual, we'll have the results for you very shortly. Can we please ask for the competitors in the last two finals of the afternoon, the Group A Girls 1 metre and the Group A Boys 3 metre, to make their way to the assembly area, please. We have the results of the Group C Girls 1 metre final. In 7th place, Blow Hall, City of Leeds Diving Club, 221.25. Sixth, Emily Costello, City of Leeds, 246.3. Fifth, Eva Satherley, City of Sheffield, 246.4. Fourth, Isla Raplin, Plymouth Diving, 268.1. Third, Willow Castiva McGrath, City of Sheffield, 272.7. Then we have our guest from Italy, Alice Donidona, 274.9. And a guest from Italy as well, Aurora Mahnitz, 282.7. Second place, Ella Sweet, Southampton Diving Academy, 287.35. And in first place, Olivia Leslie from Aberdeen Diving Club with a score of 292.35. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to poolside your finalists in the Group A boys 3 metre and the Group A girls 1 metre. Please put your hands together for our Group A boys 3 metre finalists. Start 1, Joseph Verity, City of Bradford Esprit. Start 2, Ollie Heath from Plymouth Diving. Start 3, Archie Biggin from City of Sheffield Diving Club. Start 4, Oscar Wilcox, City of Sheffield Diving Club. Start 5, Oscar Kane, Dive London Aquatics Club. Start 6, Noah Penman from Aberdeen Diving Club. Start 7, Conor Lano from Southend Diving. And start 8, Todd Geggus from Southend Diving. Now on to the Group A girls 1 metre finalists. Start 1, Kitty Smith, Dive London Aquatics Club. Start 2, diving as our guest from Australia, Eleanor Williams. Start 3, Alice Bilton from Southend Diving. Start 4, Olivia Sykes, Dive London Aquatics Club. Start 5, Phoebe Morgan, Dive London Aquatics Club. Start 6, Daisy Halls, Cambridge Dive Team. Start 7, Lois Bruce from City of Sheffield Diving Club. Start 8, Amy Wright from City of Leeds Diving Club. Start 9, Amelie Underwood from Plymouth Diving. And start 10, diving as our guest from Australia, Kira Wang. Divers, please prepare for your competitions. Thank you. Divers, please stop diving now. We're doing a medal presentation. Please stop. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to poolside the victory ceremony for the Group C boys 1 metre. And these medals will be presented by Plymouth's own Fito Gutierrez. He's a coach and also a general legend. In bronze medal position, representing the City of Leeds Diving Club, Lucas Bishop. Silver medal position, representing Samuel Diving Club, Phoenix Victory Hopkins. And your gold medalist in Group C Boys 1 metre Aquatics GB Elite Junior Diving Champion 2025, representing Plymouth Diving, Harry Westbury. Please give your medalist a big hand, thank you. Yeah, we have one other presentation to make. We've got a dive gym chamois, dive gym voucher, I beg your pardon, and a chamois box as well. And that also goes to Phoenix Victory Hopkins from Samuel Diving Club. Yes, Peter, they go to Phoenix Victory Hopkins, please. Thank you. Can we please ask for Isla Applin to make her way to the medal presentation parade area, please? Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the Group C girls 1 metre. Jenny leaving the in bronze medal position, representing City of Sheffield Diving Club, Willow Caseven McGrath. And we have a guest bronze medal to present, representing Italy, Aurora Mahnic. And our silver medalist, representing Southampton Diving Academy, Ella Sweet. And gold medalist in Group C Girls 1 metre Aquatics GB Elite Junior Diving Champion 2025, representing Aberdeen Diving Club, Olivia Leslie. And we have a further presentation to make to Isla Raplin from Plymouth. She had the highest score with her requireds, and she will receive a dive gym voucher and a chamois box. Well done, Isla. Put your hands together for all our medalists in the Group C Girls 1 metre. And the boards are now open for a 10-minute bounce. We have the referee's permission, ladies and gentlemen. This is a Group A boys 3-metre final. Our first diver, Joseph Ferretti, City of Bradford Esprit diving. Inward 2.5 somersaults, height. Seven, 6, 6.5, 6.5, 7, 6, 6. Ollie Heath, Plymouth diving. Forward 3.5 somersaults with top. Seven and a half, 8, 6.5, 8, 8, 8. Archie Biggins, City of Sheffield Diving Club. Forward 3.5 somersaults with top. Seven and a half, 7, 7.5, 6.5, 8, 7.5, 7.5. Oscar Wilcox, City of Sheffield Diving Club. Inward 2.5 somersaults, piked. Eight, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 8, 7.5, 8.5. Oscar Kane, Dive London Aquatics Club. Inward 2.5 somersaults, piked. Eight, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 7.5. Noah Penman, Aberdeen Diving Club. Forward 3.5 somersaults, piked. Seven, 6.5, 7, 7.5, 7, 7, 7. Conolano, Southend Diving. Forward 3.5 somersaults, piked. Seven, 8, 8, 8, 7, 8, 8. Todd Gugger, Southend Diving. Back 2.5 somersaults, piked. Six, 7, 6.5, 7, 6, 6, 6.5. Round two, Joseph. Forward 3.5 somersaults, piked. 5.5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 6, 5.5, 6. Ollie, reverse 2.5 somersaults, piked. Five and a half, 6.5, 7, 7, 6, 6. Archie, reverse 2.5 somersaults, piked. Seven and a half, 7.5, 7, 7, 8, 7.5, 7.5. Oscar, forward 2.5 somersaults, 1 twist, piked. Eight, 8.5, 8.5, 8.5. Oscar, back 2.5 somersaults, piked. Eight, 7.5, 7.5, 8, 7.5, 8. Noah, back 2.5 somersaults, piked. Eight and a half, 8.5, 7.5, 8, 7.5, 6.5, 7.5. Connor, inward 2.5 somersaults, piked. Six and a half, 6.5, 7, 7, 7.5, 7, 7. Todd, forward 3.5 somersaults, piked. Eight, 7.5, 7.5, 8, 7.5, 8, 7. Round 3, Joseph, back 2.5 somersaults, piked. 5.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 6, 6, 6. Ollie, back 2.5 somersaults, piked. 5, 5.5, 5.5, 6, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. Archie back 2.5 somersaults with tuck. 4.5, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 6, 6, 6. Oscar back 2.5 somersaults piked. 5.5, 5.5, 5, 6, 6, 5.5, 5.5. Oscar reverse 2.5 somersaults piked. 4, 4, 4, 4.5, 5, 5, 4.5. Noah forward 2.5 somersaults, 2 twists piked. 6, 6, 5.5, 6, 6, 6.5, 5.5. Connor reverse 2.5 somersaults piked. 6, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6, 6, 6.5. Todd inward 3.5 somersaults with tuck. 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7, 7.5. Round 4, Joseph, reverse 2.5 somersaults, piked. 4.5, 5, 6, 5, 6, 5.5, 5.5. Ollie, inward 2.5 somersaults with tuck. 7.5, 7.5, 8, 7, 7.5, 7.5, 7. Archie, inward 2.5 somersaults, piked. 3.5, 4.5, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5. Oscar reverse 1.5 somersaults with top. Seven and a half, 7, 7, 7, 8.5, 7.5, 7. Oscar forward 3.5 somersaults, piked. Six, 6.5, 7, 7.5, 7, 6, 6.5. Noah reverse 2.5 somersaults, piked. Six and a half, 6.5, 6.5, 7.5, 6.5, 6, 6.5. Connor forward 2.5 somersaults, 2 twists, piked. Five and a half, 5.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6, 6, 6. Todd reverse 2.5 somersaults, piked. Six, 6, 6.5, 6, 7, 6.5, 6. Final round, Joseph Ferretti, City of Bradford Esprit diving. Forward 2.5 somersaults, 1 twist, piked. Six and a half, 6.5, 6.5, 5.5, 7.5, 6.5, 6.5. Ollie Heath, Plymouth diving. Forward 2.5 somersaults, 1 twist, piked. Six and a half, 6, 6.5, 7, 6.5, 6.5, 6. Archie Biggins, City of Sheffield Diving Club. Forward 2.5 somersaults, 1 twist, piked. Seven, 7.5, 7, 7.5, 7.5, 7, 7. Oscar Wilcox, City of Sheffield Diving Club. Forward 3.5 somersaults, piked. 7, 8, 7.5, 8.5, 8, 7.5, 8. Oscar Kane, Dive London Aquatics Club. Forward 2.5 somersaults, 1 twist, piked. Seven and a half, 7.5, 7, 7.5, 7.5, 8, 8. Noah Penman, Aberdeen Diving Club. Inward 3.5 somersaults with tuck. Four and a half, 4, 4, 4.5, 4.5, 5, 4.5. Conilano, South End Diving. Back 2.5 somersaults, piked. Four, 4.5, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 4.5, 5. Our final diver, Todd Gagger, South End Diving. Forward 2.5 somersaults, 2 twists, piked. Five and a half, 5.5, 5, 6.5, 6, 6, 6. That concludes the Group A boys 3-metre final. Lucky divers, judges and recorders will have the results for you very soon. We have the results of the Group A boys 3-metre final. In 8th place, Joseph Verity, City of Bradford, 464.85. 7th, Archie Biggins, City of Sheffield, 490.65. 6th, Ollie Heath, Plymouth Diving, 494.9. 5th, Conilano, Southend Diving, 500.2. 4th, Oscar Wilcox, City of Sheffield, 522.6. 3rd place, Noah Penman, Aberdeen Diving Club, 523.7. In 2nd place, Oscar Kane, Dive London Aquatics, 529.4. And in 1st place, Todd Geggers from Southend Diving, 540.55.
Judges to chairs, please. Judges to chairs.
Can we have all judges to seats, please, for the Group A girls 1 metre final? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Group A girls 1 metre final. We have the referee's permission to proceed. Our first diver, Kitty Smith, Dive London Aquatics Club. Back 1.5 somersaults, piked. Five and a half, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6.5. Eleanor Williams, Australia. Inward 1.5 somersaults, piked. Six and a half, 6, 7, 7, 6, 6.5, 6. Alice Bilton, Southend Diving. Inward 1.5 somersaults, piked. Seven, 6, 6.5, 7, 6.5, 7, 7. Olivia Sykes, Dive London Aquatics Club. Forward 2.5 somersaults with tuck. Six and a half, 6.5, 6, 6, 6, 6.5, 6.5. Phoebe Morgan, Dive London Aquatics Club. Forward 2.5 somersaults, piked. Six and a half, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 5. Daisy Halls, Cambridge Dive Team. Inward 1.5 somersaults, piked. 7, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 7, 6. Lewis Bruce, City of Sheffield Diving Club, back 1.5 somersaults piked. 6, 6.5, 5.5, 6, 5.5, 5, 6.5. Amy Wright, City of Leeds Diving Club, inward 1.5 somersaults piked. 5.5, 5, 5, 5.5, 5, 4.5, 4.5. Emily Underwood, Plymouth Diving, back 1.5 somersaults piked. 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 7.5, 7.5. Kira, Australia, inward 1.5 somersaults piked. 5.5, 6, 6.5, 6.5, 6, 6.5, 6. Round 2, Kitty, inward 1.5 somersaults piked. 7, 6.5, 6.5, 7, 6.5, 7, 7. Eleanor, forward 2.5 somersaults piked. 5, 4.5, 4, 5.5, 5, 5, 3.5. Alice, reverse 1.5 somersaults with tuck. 6.5, 7, 7, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 7.5. Olivia, back 1.5 somersaults piked. 4.5, 5, 4, 5, 4, 4.5, 5.5. Phoebe, inward 1.5 somersaults piked. 5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 6.5, 7, 7, 7. Daisy forward, 2.5 somersaults piked. Five, 4.5, 4.5, 5, 5, 4, 4. Lowest reverse, 1.5 somersaults piked. Two and a half, 3.5, 2.5, 3.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. Amy back, 1.5 somersaults piked. Six, 6, 5, 5, 6, 5, 5. Amelie reverse, 1.5 somersaults piked. Seven, 7, 7, 6.5, 6, 7.5, 6.5. Kira forward, 2.5 somersaults piked. Five and a half, 5, 5.5, 5, 5, 5.5, 5. Round 3, Kitty reverse, 1.5 somersaults with tuck. Seven, 6.5, 7.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 7. Eleanor reverse, 1.5 somersaults piked. Six and a half, 6.5, 6, 6, 6, 5.5, 6.5. Alice back, 1.5 somersaults piked. Four and a half, 4, 3.5, 4.5, 4, 4, 4.5. Olivia reverse, 1.5 somersaults with tuck. Six and a half, 6, 6, 5, 5.5, 5, 6.5. Phoebe back, 1.5 somersaults piked. 6.5, 6, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 7.5, 6. Daisy back 1.5 somersaults, piked. Seven and a half, 7, 7, 7, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5. Lowest forward 2.5 somersaults with tuck. Six, 6.5, 5.5, 6, 6, 6, 6. Amy reverse 1.5 somersaults, piked. 6.5, 4.5, 6, 5, 5.5, 5.5, 6.5. Amelie forward 2.5 somersaults, piked. Seven and a half, 6.5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 6.5. Kira reverse 1.5 somersaults with tuck. Six, 6, 7, 6, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. Final round, Kitty Smith, Dive London Aquatics Club. Forward 2.5 somersaults with tuck. 5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 5. Eleanor Williams, Australia. Reverse 1.5 somersaults, 1.5 twists, free position. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6.5, 6, 6. Alice Bilton, Southend Diving. Forward 2.5 somersaults with tuck. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. Olivia Sykes, Dive London Aquatics Club. Inward 1.5 somersaults, piked. Six, 6.5, 6, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6. Phoebe Morgan, Dive London Aquatics Club. Back 1.5 somersaults, 1.5 twists, free position. 6, 5.5, 6, 6, 6.5, 6.5, 6. Daisy Halls, Cambridge Dive Team, reverse 1.5 somersaults, piked. Five and a half, 5, 4.5, 4.5, 5, 5, 5.5. Lewis Bruce, City of Sheffield Diving Club, inward 1.5 somersaults, piked. Seven, 7, 7.5, 6, 6, 6.5, 7. Amy Wright, City of Leeds Diving Club, forward 2.5 somersaults, piked. Six, 5.5, 5.5, 5, 5.5, 5, 5.5. Emily Underwood, Plymouth Diving, inward 1.5 somersaults, piked. Seven and a half, 7, 7, 6, 7.5, 7, 7. Our final diver, Kira Wang from Australia, back 1.5 somersaults, piked. Seven, 7, 6, 6, 6, 6.5, 6.5. That concludes the Group A girls 1 metre final. Thank you, divers, judges and recorders. We'll have the results for you shortly. And we have the results now of the Group A girls 1 metre final. In 8th place, Lois Bruce from City of Sheffield, 330.6. 7th, Kitty Smith, Dive London, 333.25. 6th, Alice Bilton from Southend Diving, 336.9. 5th, Olivia Sykes from Dive London, 337.75. 4th, Amy Wright from City of Leeds, 340.95. 3rd place, Daisy Halls, Cambridge Dive Team, 344.45. And diving as a guest from Australia, Eleanor Williams, 346.8. Second, Phoebe Morgan, Dive London Aquatics, 353.0. And our guest from Australia, Kira Wang, 358.25. And finishing in first place, Emily Underwood from Plymouth Diving with a score of 376.7. Can we please have the medalists from the Group A Boys 3-metre final? That's Todd, Oscar Kane and Noah Penman. And also from the girls final, we need Emily Underwood, Kira Wang, Phoebe Morgan, Daisy Halls and Amy Wright. Ladies and gentlemen, the victory presentation for the Group A Boys 3-metre. And these medals will be presented by Sian Veazey from Southend. In bronze medal position, representing Aberdeen Diving Club, Noah Penman. And we also have, we've got to give Noah Penman a dive team voucher and a chamois box for his required score of 224.0. If you could do that, Sian, as well, thank you. In silver medal position, representing Dive London Aquatics Club, Oscar Kane. And gold medalist in Group A Boys 3-metre Aquatics GB Elite Junior Diving Champion 2025, representing Southend Diving, Todd Gegas. Ladies and gentlemen, your Group A Boys 3-metre medalists. Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the Group A girls 1-metre. And these medals are going to be presented by Plymouth Diving's. All right, Sally Freeman. Sorry, Sally. In bronze medal position, representing Cambridge Dive Team, Daisy Halls. Our silver medalist representing Dive London Aquatics Club, Phoebe Morgan. And we have a guest silver medal to present to Kira Wang from Australia. And gold medalist and Group A Girls 1 metre Aquatics 2B Elite Junior Diving Champion 2025, representing Plymouth Diving, Emily Underwood. And we also have Amy Wright, who will be receiving a dive gym voucher and chamois box for her required score of 184.45. Ladies and gentlemen, your Group A Girls 1 metre medalists. There we go, everybody. That's the end of day 2. Hope you've enjoyed the diving today. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning. Hope you are too. If you're staying in Plymouth, have a good night. If you're going home, have a safe trip. From all of us here on Poolside, thank you and good night.